Hello guys, me again Aswat, and this time I'm going to do a movie review for the movie, the latest Final Destination, The Bloodlines. And I want to start by saying that this is my first time watching a Final Destination movie. I never watched it before, I never watched the franchise before, and the reason is I'm very scared person of this kind of horror with gore. I don't like it. Like I never seen a Saw movie, so because always afraid of the gore. So that is where I come from. So this is my first time watching this franchise. Okay, so you have to understand. But I want to take a chance and have a go at this movie because the type of horror that I usually like is space horror, which is like Alien. I like that, or Predator, but Predator they consider action horror or creature horror than really anything frightening. The type of movie that I consider frightening is like the Conjuring movie. The first Conjuring movie very frightening, very creepy, and The Ring. So those type of movie I really consider scary. So this is my review of the Bloodline storyline. I'll be honest with you. I like this movie after watching it because there's a lot of comedy. It surprised me because I don't know about the previous storyline franchise. This one has a lot of comedy, and the deaths are very interesting, very funny, and surprisingly, the death is not cruel, and that's what I like. I like this. Not nothing. It's not like gore porn or anything like that, but it's very cruel and torture. This is nothing to do with that. And yeah, I like that. I like this movie. So the summary of this is like this little girl, this girl, college age girl, she's been having this nightmare about an accident, a horrifying accident that happened in the 50s or 60s, old days. And she kept having this nightmare. And then she realized that the nightmare is related to her and her family. So that's why they call it a bloodline because death, the villain of this movie is death. This is something because I never watched it before. I never watched the previous movies in this franchise, so I don't know. So I found out the villain, the so-called villain, is death, and that alone was very interesting topic. So I wanted to continue watching it to find out what happened. So apparently, the death, her grandmother, this girl grandmother, cheated death. On the day that everybody is supposed to die, she had a vision, and then the vision told her what was going to happen. So she managed to escape death. So death got very angry, according to the story lah. Death got very angry and wanted revenge. So after killing everybody that have survived on the event, so apparently the death is coming to this family next. And that's basically the plot summary. So the girl wanted to find the grandmother and find out what is going on, what is the mystic, the story, and unfortunately, because she doesn't know about it, by meeting the grandmother, by meeting the grandmother, she brought this death to the whole family because apparently this death works by, like, if the it goes by age. So the older, if the death miss one age, it starts with the oldest in that bloodlines. So apparently if the grandmother is still alive, then the whole family will not be affected. So unfortunately, because she met the grandmother, and then that triggered death to come to kill the grandmother because of that meeting. And because the grandmother died, then everybody else under her died. So that's what kicked this movie off. Okay. like I said, the movie, the saving grace of the movie is funny. It's really funny. I never expected it to be funny. My point of view about death is because I'm a Muslim. The death is a work of angel of death, and the angel of death is not evil, and it's just the angel of death is just a tool of God, because God is the one that decides and choose who die and who's not, and it's already been planned. So that's Muslim belief, and I believe that. So for me, as I'm watching this, I accept this is just a movie. And apparently, after I watching it, I'm losing background of my knowledge about death. I don't even consider death as evil. Death is not evil. So in this movie, they try to make like death is cruel, death is messy or angry when you've cheated death. So fortunately, it's not that serious because, like I said, they have a lot of comedy. So I can watch this movie and say, okay, death is not evil. Death is just doing his job, and these people are going to die anyway. So it's fair. It's fair. So I wasn't really turned off by the gore because the gore is not realistic. Thankfully, it's not cruel. It's not that cruel. It's not torturing. It's not trying to make you feel disgusted or anything. But it's very children shouldn't watch this movie, of course, because it shows the death, but it doesn't try to like enjoy people dying and everything like that. That I was so afraid of that also. So that's my take of this. And that is even when my favorite character, my favorite character is not the lead actress. But there's one guy who is part of the bloodline, and then there's a twist. But his death is funny, and then his death and leading up to it is very funny, very enjoyable, entertaining. That's what I would say. And the death is not cruel because they made it quick and he did not suffer. I was watching it. Okay, this is not too much. It's not too bad. It's just a good death, and I like that death. The lead character, the lead actor, the lead actress, I really don't like. I have no idea who she is. Most of the actors in this movie doesn't is not really that famous, so it's quite I can understand why they do it because low budget, so they have to pay the actors less than not expensive actors. But the movie is fun, and I like that it's not cruel. I don't like all this gore porn and everything, but this is not to me. This is not too gory lah. There is gore, but it's not enjoying the gory. It's more like how do we escape death? Yeah, but enjoyable, funny. I was surprised that it's funny. That's my review. My score for this movie, I'll probably give this like 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 because it exceeded my expectation. Exceeded because it did not make me disgusted, did not make me turn off, and it actually made me laugh a few times because death is funny. And my message, this is my own personal message, death is not like this movie lah. Death to me, as my knowledge as a Muslim, is not evil. Death is everybody will die. So you just work the best you can to die as a good person. That's my message because that is what taught to me by Islam. Okay, that's it. That's my review. 7 out of 10 for Final Destination Bloodline. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Peace.